What's happening, folks? Back with another reaction, back with some more Jethro Tull, and returning to Songs from the Wood, 1977. Thank you again to Vera. And the next tune is Hunting Girl. When I saw it, my mind immediately went to a mythological figure like Artemis, though I suppose, and given the comments people have made on the first few reactions on the album, I would expect it, if it is running in that type of direction, to be more related to British or, Anglo-Saxon mythology. Nevertheless, I suppose it could be more modern day or real world. A hunting girl who maybe engages in such hunts by the light of the moon or something. So yeah, it's an evocative title, but it is just a two-word phrase. There's no additional context. So I'll just try to catch what I can on first listen. This is Jethro Tull. The tune is Hunting Girl, and it's from their 1977 album, Songs from the Wood.
One fine young lady is hard to refuse the hands that glare. I unlocked the gate, but she did wait until the packet disappeared. Crop and book on bones that high upon a throne, the finest English leather. The queen of all the pack, this joker raised his hat and talked about the weather. All shook you warning about this high-born hunting girl. She took the simple man's downfall in hand. I raised the fact that she unfurled. Leather flashing the spur next the size of my thumb. This high-born hunt and the tastes as strange as they come. Unbridled passion, I took the bit in my teeth. We're standing over beyond my knees underneath. La, 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 la. to my feet and go back to the front. Once I appreciate you wanna deviate, I might not lose some on. I'm not inclined to act to refine if that's how it goes. Oh, my poor man, take care and just know my love was so.
Their musical and rhythmic skill is ridiculously impressive. Again, it's another one where the stop-start, tempo shifts, instrumental flourishes, and dynamics continue to evolve and change over the course of the tune, and definitely the flute is very prominent in this one, but also there's these deep bass riffs as well as a guitar which then comes on top of that, which has a bit of edge and bite to it. There's lots of drumming flourishing once again, which, you know, that's something that has definitely stood out with these first few tunes. But yeah, there's some nice rolls and fills and transitional moments. There's those sections where it's sort of fragmented in the full articulation, bits and pieces. It's like chopped up and stop-start, but then again, it's just like perfectly in time, and they flow back into the fuller sound. So yeah, it's just constantly dynamic and layered in the stylings. And if one thing in particular did stand out, it was the flute. But again, there's like organ up top, some like secondary keyboard below that, and there's sections where I think they're both going, so they're kind of layered over top of each other. And then vocally, again, there's that like halting syllabic type of delivery in parts, and then a bit like smoother and fuller in other sections. Lyrically, I could not follow it, in part because I'm so keyed in on the sonics and the tempo and the rhythms. But I did hear like little tidbits. I mean, right at the end, it was something about like he's got to get back up on his feet, and he's got to like get back somewhere, and then like maybe this girl's not a hunting girl, but just a, what was it, like a regular so-and-so. Like, again, I heard like little tidbits here and there, and I did hear some tidbits earlier in the song, but they got sort of washed over by the sonics, the composition of the tune, and then the little bits that I heard at the end. But as I mentioned before, that's pretty common. You know, when I've listened to music going back now multiple decades, I tend to hear a tune, it washes over me. Sometimes I really do focus on the sonics more immediately or more notably on a first listen, and then usually in successive hearings I hear more of the words, and then, you know, going back decades, if after a half dozen listens I still hadn't heard it clearly, or there's some lines that were still opaque to me, I'd look in the booklet, or, you know, I'd look on the jacket sleeve, whatever it is. And again, these days, doing these video reactions on YouTube, the longtime fans of the group tend to bring lyrics to me, or at least bring interpretations and insights to the lyrics more immediately. So it's an accelerated process, but yeah, it's just kind of the way that I digest music. So I look forward to hearing what people have to say, and I certainly will re-listen. And again, I do re-listen in headphones, so this kind of old school setup is just the way that, again, I've started my interaction with music, so it seemed like a natural video type for my YouTube activities. In any case, I very much enjoyed it, and as I said, their musicianship maybe comes across more than anything else, so that seems to be a facet, I imagine, not only of this album, but their larger catalog. And again, I remember when I said, like, so is this kind of like folk art rock? Is that kind of where they are? And I think there were a couple people who commented, again, after like the first one or two reactions, and saying like, yes and no, they do a lot of this, but they also have a lot of variety over the course of their albums. So yeah, looking forward to the rest of this record and anything else beyond that. Do let me know what you think. I'll see you for the next one. Peace.